Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive into this fascinating world of quantum computing.
Yeah.
It can seem pretty complex, but we're going to break it down in a way that is both understandable and engaging.
Yeah, definitely.
Today, we're going to try to understand the basics of quantum computing, explore the significance of Google's new Willow processor,
Right.
and consider its potential impact on the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, the really cool thing is that quantum computing has been a goal for scientists for like almost 30 years.
It has.
And Willow might just be the key to making it a reality.
It's really an amazing time to be in this field.
Yeah.
There's so much happening, and the potential is just enormous.
Okay, so before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's kind of start with the basics. Like, what exactly is quantum computing?
Yeah.
I feel like I hear this term everywhere, but I'm not sure I really fully understand it.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the hype sometimes, so
Right.
back to basics, it is.
Okay.
The computers we use every day, they store information as bits, which are either a 0 or a 1. It's kind of like an on-off light switch.
Okay.
Quantum computers, on the other hand, use qubits.
Okay, so these qubits are kind of like the quantum version of bits.
Exactly.
Okay.
But instead of just being on or off,
Yeah.
a qubit can be 0, 1, or both at the same time.
Oh, wow.
We call that superposition.
Okay.
It's like a dimmer switch. It can be
Okay.
set at any level of brightness.
So it's like a qubit is doing, like, it's multitasking.
Yes.
It's doing multiple things at once.
That's a great way to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that ability to be in multiple states simultaneously is what gives quantum computers their power.
Okay.
And then there's this thing called entanglement,
Okay.
where two linked qubits can instantly know each other's state, even if they're miles apart.
Well, hold on. They could be miles apart and still know what the other one is doing?
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I know, it's wild, right?
Yeah.
That's the mind-bending part of quantum mechanics.
Yeah.
It sounds like magic, but it really is a fundamental principle of the universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. I'm trying to keep up here.
Sure.
But let's say I get how these qubits work.
Okay.
How does that actually translate to solving problems?
Right.
Like real-world problems?
Yeah. So let's take drug discovery as an example.
Okay.
Imagine you're trying to design a new drug,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to figure out the perfect molecular structure.
Okay.
A classical computer would have to test each possible combination one at a time.
Oh, wow. So that would be a really slow and tedious process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a quantum computer could use entangled qubits
Hi.
to represent the different parts of the molecule and simulate all the interactions simultaneously.
Wow.
So that means you could find the most effective drug configuration much faster.
So quantum computers could potentially revolutionize medicine.
They absolutely could.
Wow. Are there any downsides to this, or is it just all sunshine and roses?
Well, it's not without its challenges. One of the biggest hurdles has been managing errors.
Errors. What kind of errors are we talking about?
As you link more and more qubits together,
Yeah.
the system becomes increasingly fragile.
Okay.
Kind of like building a house of cards.
Okay.
The bigger it gets, the more likely it is to collapse.
So the more qubits you have, the more unstable the system becomes.
Exactly.
That seems counterintuitive.
Yeah, it was a major obstacle for a long time.
Okay.
Previous quantum computers just couldn't overcome this,
Yeah.
meaning scaling up actually made performance worse.
So is that where Google's Willow processor comes in?
Yes, you got it.
Okay.
This is where things get really exciting.
I'm all ears.
Right.
What makes Willow so special?
So Willow uses a new approach to error correction called surface codes.
Okay.
Imagine arranging the qubits in a lattice structure,
Okay.
kind of like a checkerboard.
Okay. I can picture that.
Yeah, so using more qubits
Yeah.
in this specific lattice arrangement actually reduces error rates.
So more is actually less in this case.
It is.
That's wild.
It seems counterintuitive, I know,
Yeah.
but it's like a woven fabric,
Okay.
where a snag in one thread doesn't unravel the whole thing.
Okay. So they're essentially defying the house of cards analogy.
Precisely.
Oh, wow.
It's a huge accomplishment
Yeah.
and something that researchers have been working towards for nearly 3 decades.
That's amazing. This all sounds pretty amazing.
It is.
But what does this mean in terms of actual performance? Like, how much faster is Willow compared to, say, a traditional supercomputer?
Okay, so hold on to your hat because this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Willow managed to solve a computation in just 5 minutes
Okay.
that would take a state-of-the-art supercomputer an estimated 10 septillion years.
10 septillion years. I can't even wrap my head around that.
I know it's a number with 24 zeros.
Yeah.
It's longer than the universe has existed.
It really is.
Yeah, and that's the power of what Google has achieved here.
Yeah.
For the first time, we have a quantum computer operating below the threshold, meaning the error correction is actively making the system better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm starting to grasp the sheer power of this,
Yeah.
of what Willow represents, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around what this means for the future.
Right.
Is this really the game changer everyone's making it out to be?
I think it certainly is a turning point.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about a problem that would take a supercomputer
Yeah.
longer than the age of the universe to solve?
Yeah.
Well, Willow just did it in 5 minutes.
Right.
That's the power of exponential error suppression.
Yeah.
It really opens the door to computational power we could only dream of before.
That's mind-blowing. So what are the practical implications of all of this? How could Willow or future quantum computers actually impact our lives?
Yeah, so the possibilities are vast.
Okay.
But let's focus on a few key areas.
Sure.
Think back to the drug discovery example. Imagine being able to design personalized treatments tailored to your specific genetic makeup, or developing entirely new drugs by accurately simulating those complex molecular interactions.
Okay.
These are the kinds of advancements that quantum computers could unlock.
So it's not just about speeding up drug discovery, but potentially revolutionizing the entire field of medicine.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
it doesn't stop there.
Okay.
Let's take materials science.
Okay.
Right now, discovering new materials is a really slow and expensive process.
Yeah.
But with quantum computers, we could simulate the properties of materials at the atomic level.
Wow.
And this could lead to the development of lighter, stronger, more efficient materials
Okay.
for everything from, airplanes to solar panels.
So it sounds like quantum computing could be a key driver in building a more sustainable future.
It absolutely has that potential.
Yeah. And then there's the realm of artificial intelligence.
Right?
Quantum computers could dramatically enhance machine learning algorithms,
Yeah.
leading to breakthroughs in fields like natural language processing and image recognition.
Exactly.
Wow. So
Yeah.
things like our AI assistants could get a whole lot smarter.
Much smarter. Yes. And potentially more capable of solving those really complex problems
Right.
that are currently beyond our reach.
This is all incredibly exciting, but let's be realistic for a second here.
Sure.
We're still a long way from having these large-scale, fault-tolerant quantum computers, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
how long will it be before we start seeing these real-world applications?
Well, predicting the future is always a tricky business.
Yeah.
But the progress in quantum computing has been accelerating so rapidly.
Yeah.
A year ago, those error rates were 20 times worse.
Wow.
So it's really hard to say for certain,
Yeah.
but we could see significant breakthroughs, in the next decade or two.
Sooner than we think.
It's definitely possible.
Right.
And, as the technology continues to advance, we can expect even more exciting applications to emerge.
It's all pretty mind-boggling. It seems like quantum computing isn't just a technological revolution, it's a societal one as well.
It is.
What are some of the potential challenges or risks we should be thinking about as this technology continues to evolve?
So while the potential benefits are enormous, it's crucial to consider the potential downsides.
Of course.
Yeah. And one area of concern is the impact on cybersecurity.
Okay.
Quantum computers could potentially break the encryption methods we currently rely on to secure our data.
So all of our online banking, our emails, everything could be vulnerable?
Yeah, it's not an immediate threat,
Okay.
but it is something we need to be prepared for.
Right.
And the good news is that there's a lot of research being done on
yeah.
developing new quantum-resistant encryption methods.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a technological arms race.
Yeah, I'm glad someone's working on that. Are there other ethical considerations we should be thinking about?
Well, as with any powerful technology, there's always the potential for misuse.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that quantum computing is used responsibly and ethically.
Of course.
That means having those open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits and developing safeguards to prevent its use for harmful purposes.
Right. It makes sense. It's like we're on the cusp of this new era,
We are.
and we need to make sure we're kind of steering the ship in the right direction.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as the most significant aspect of Google's achievement with Willow?
Yeah, so for me, it's the validation of decades of research.
Okay.
And, the proof that error correction can actually work. Willow is a testament to human ingenuity.
Right?
And our, relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder that even those seemingly insurmountable challenges can be overcome.
I love that it's really inspiring to think about what we can achieve when we set our minds to it.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive into the world of quantum computing,
Sure.
what's like the one key takeaway
Yeah.
you want our listeners to remember?
Yeah, I want them to remember that quantum computing is no longer science fiction.
Okay.
It's here, it's evolving rapidly, and it has the potential to change the world in ways we can barely even imagine.
Wow.
And, that's something to be both excited and hopeful about.
So we've been on this incredible journey exploring the world of quantum computing.
We have.
From, these mind-bending qubits to Google's groundbreaking Willow processor.
Right.
But before we wrap things up, I wanted to kind of circle back to something you said earlier.
Sure.
About Willow being a validation of like decades of research.
Yeah.
Could you kind of expand on that a bit?
Yeah.
What does this achievement mean for like the future of quantum computing?
So, Willow is a major milestone.
Okay.
Because it demonstrates that we can actually build quantum computers that get better as they get bigger, thanks to error correction. This was a theoretical possibility for a long time, and now it's a reality.
So we're finally seeing those years of research paying off. Wow. So what's next? Like, what are the big challenges that still need to be overcome?
So one area that needs further development is the speed of error correction.
Okay.
Remember we talked about decoder delays?
Yeah.
That's the time it takes for the classical computer to analyze the results from the quantum computer.
Okay.
And identify errors.
Right.
If we can make that process faster, we can unlock even more of the potential power of these quantum computers.
So it's not just about the quantum hardware, but also like the classical software working in tandem.
It's like a dance between the two.
Yeah.
And we need to make sure they're perfectly synchronized.
Makes sense. Now, for our listeners who are feeling inspired and want to learn more about this exciting field, what resources would you recommend?
Well, Google has made some really great open source software available that allows anyone to experiment with these quantum algorithms.
That's great.
Yeah. There's also a free Coursera course on quantum error correction, if you really want to kind of delve into the technical details.
Awesome.
And of course, there are countless articles and books and other online resources for those who want to just stay up to date on all the latest advancements.
That's great to know. It sounds like there are plenty of opportunities for anyone to get involved.
There really are.
Regardless of their background.
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe someone listening right now will make the next big breakthrough in quantum computing.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities.
It is.
So as we conclude our deep dive, what's the one key message you hope our listeners will take away from our conversation?
Yeah, I want them to remember that quantum computing is no longer a distant dream.
Okay.
It's here. It's evolving rapidly. And it has the potential to change the world in ways we can barely imagine.
Yeah.
And that's something to be both excited and hopeful about.
I couldn't agree more. Well, that brings our deep dive into the world of quantum computing to an end.
Yes, it does.
We hope you enjoyed the journey and are feeling as energized as we are about the future.
Absolutely.
Keep those questions coming, keep exploring, and keep learning.
Yeah.
Until next time, this is The Deep Dive, signing off.